I'm on a deadline. I should just cut this short. I guess I'll have to look elsewhere.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I really thought I'd find something. I feel terrible. Do you want to be my friend? Oh, I already asked you that. I'm coming on too strong, aren't I? I am, I can tell. Stop it, Enu.
No, not at all. I'd love to be friends. And thank you for helping me.
Much good that did. I really wish I knew who else could...
For the love of the festering demon shrimps of Jaharva, do I have to do everything in this place? I didn't spend all those years living on the streets of Marcuria, pilfering food and liberating fat purses to deal with this shite. I swear I'd be better off going back to sleeping in Abnaxus' stone tree if I can't even get a mattress that isn't flea and maggot infested. Do your bleeding jobs, people. Is that too much to ask?
That guy looks familiar, but I'm not quite sure where I've... Is that Blind Bob, the beggar? Blind Bob?
Eh? What? Who's asking? Well, blessed be me striped breeches. You're the lass what brought me mulled wine back when I'd hit rock bottom in Marcuria. What in the name of the eight-eyed octo-god of Tartellus are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing. Except for, not those words exactly.
Oh, I left me life of beggaring behind. Cleaned myself up. Joined the resistance. I'm a general now. I'm making a difference.
He was theoretically blind, but now he can see. It makes less and less sense the more I think about it. What happened to your theoretical blindness?
Cured! I was blind, theoretically, but now I can see. To be honest, some days I wonder if I ever was theoretically blind, or if it was all hypothemetaphysical. You know, just in my head, like. It was simpler being blind Bob and resorting to beggaring and vagrancy than taking a long, hard look at myself in a speculum, particularly on account of the blindness. I wish me old pa could have lived to see me. He always believed in me, even when I didn't. To the bitter end, he told me I had potential. I nodded and wept and promised him I'd try my best. Then, as he drew his last ragged breath, I stole his purse and his breeches. Well, Pa, I'm sorry about the breeches. I'm making something of life now. Making something of myself. I'm no longer blind Bob. Call me Bob who can see.
General? Are you an actual general?
Aye. See these stripes? General Bob, that's me. I takes care of the logic sticks round here, so the place don't crumble to pieces. Shepard's busy with the strategering. Kian sorts out who to murder and how. Liko makes a fine job of being contrary, and Enu keeps everyone's spirits up. I mean, when she's not shooting Azadi soldiers in their eyeballs with her bow and arrow. Me, I make sure the ladder's stocked, the sheets are clean, relatively speaking, and that the piss pots are empty. Can't go to war on a full bladder.
I just can't imagine how the blind Bob I met in Marcuria turned into this man. It's an impressive transformation. How did you end up with the rebels?
Not long after you and I met, I overdosed on mulled wine. Spooked me good, that did. I figured I had two choices. Either spend the remainder of my days in the gutter, stinking of foreign spices and currants, and, to be honest, there didn't seem to be a whole lot of days left. Or I could clean myself up, try to amount to something after a lifetime wasted on wine, women, and various gutters. The moment I looked up, I saw how the Azadi were running magicals out of Marcuria. I couldn't ignore it. It was disgraceful. I mean, magicals always treated me with kindness and respect. I felt I owed them. So, here I am, doing my part and paying my debts. Aside from the gambling at the bar tabs, mind you. And I feel 20 years younger to boot.
It's a long shot, but... Have you heard of the Purple Mountains?
Oh, aye. Aye, of course. Everyone's heard of the Turtle Mountains. They're...
No, sorry. Purple, not turtle.
That's what I said. Turtle. Right, of course. You don't know. Why would you? My apologies, lassie. See, I have a serious P deficiency. It's been a lifelong struggle. The Turtle Mountains. Nope, never heard of him. Sorry.
Didn't he just mention Abnaxus? Or was that my imagination? Do you know someone called Abnaxus?
Abnaxus? Now there's a name I haven't heard spoken in years. Where do you know it from?
Sorry, I just overheard. Actually, I met Abnaxus recently. Well, I dreamed about Abnaxus. Or maybe it was more like a vision. This sounds crazy, I know, but...
Sounds completely sane to me, lass. Abnaxus turning up in visions. That's exactly the sort of fellow he was. Persistent, unpredictable, and not a little annoying. I met him when he was the Venar ambassador to Ireed. This was before the gutters, when I was still a dapper chap on the Marcurian party circuit. We hit it off, especially seeing as I was going blind, theoretically, and he saw everything, past, present, and future. Years later, as he was leaving town, he entrusted me with the key to his home, said to take care of it. I'd sleep there from time to time. Very uncomfortable bunk. Musty smell of ancient books and foreign weeds. I didn't much care for it, to be honest.
I'm sure he said key. And where there's a key... You said something about a key to Abnaxus's house?
They called it the Abode back then. Abnaxus's Abode. Primitive accommodations, but luxurious location. Prime real estate. Central with a garden view. Very quiet at night.
And the key? Do you still have it? Sorry, this is really important.
Oh, I carry it with me every day. After all, it is a magic key. Figured it might do me lumbago some good.
What about this house? I mean, the abode?
Also still there, and not hard to find. Sits right circle in the center of the city green. Abnaxus carved it out of a petrified tree with his own morbidly huge hands. A few years ago, the authorities turned it into an historical landmark. Of course, no one can get inside, on account of the Venar magic. Not without the key, at least.
This key... Can I...
Oh, sure. Heavier than it looks, ain't it? More powerful than iron. Worth its weight in precious stones, and then some. This magic goes back to the first magic. None of that modern hocus-pocus. You feel it in your fingers when you hold it. Tingles, don't it?
It does. Sorry, I know this is asking a lot, but can I...
Borrow it? Aye, why not? It's done the lumbago no good. And I don't have much use for the place, now that I've a proper bunk here. But keep it safe. Abnaxus left most of his belongings behind and entrusted me with their care. I'd hate to betray that trust.
I promise. Hey, I made progress. Blind Bob, the General, gave me the key to Abnaxus's house. I might find what I'm looking for there.
That's great! Oh, I wish I could come with you, but there's this whole furry thing I've got going on. It's a big no-no in the city these days.
Sorry about that. Humans can be real dicks sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Some humans, not most. You're a good human. What are these dicks you speak of?
That's not important. Thanks again for your help.
Are you leaving already? We just met, and you'll come back though, right?
I hope so.
Oh, okay. Because there's so much I want to talk about, and I'll let you go now. Thanks for talking to me, Zoe. I miss you already. Shut up now. Anu, okay. Thanks. Bye!
You spoke with the General. Did you find what you were looking for?
It's a step in the right direction.
Good. I've asked them to ready a boat for you. Whenever you're ready, it will take you into the city. I may not fully understand your role, Zoe, but there's something about you that... I've learned to have faith in the balance. The balance provides. The balance guides. It's guiding you now. You must let it take you wherever it leads, like a leaf on a river. Bend to its will.
I'll try.
May your gods favor your journey. You'll be in my thoughts and dreams.
They look like some sort of mer people. I wonder if they're real, or just a myth. They look ready to go to war. I hope they won't have to. I hope it's not too far into town because, yeah, I've seen sturdier boats in bathtubs.
Shepard said to take you into town. Just get in that boat and we'll leave immediately.
Now I need to find the city green. I wish Crow was with me. I feel less alone with that silly bird around.
You're back! And your head's still on! Did you swim?
Swim? No, boat. I boated. I mean, they dropped me off in a boat.
Impressive. So, what's the next step on our grand adventure? Tea and biscuits? A hearty nap, perhaps?
I need to find the city green and the home of Abnaxus.
I visit the city green every day to clean my feathers in the fountain. Follow me. I really wish you had wings.
So do I, Crow. Hey, are you okay?
Sure, why wouldn't I be?
I mean, April and...
Of course I'm not okay, okay? But I'm okay. I'll be okay. It's okay. We're okay. Don't worry about it, okay?
Okay.
She's not the first friend I've lost, and she won't be the last. You learn to roll with the punches. It's either that or punch back. Real hard.
It's written in an alien language. I've no idea what that says. I guess the magical translation only works with voice. Ulvik seems like such a lovely man. He reminds me of Sully. I miss Sully.
Ah,
Hello.
I must apologize for yesterday.
No apology necessary. I found the people I was looking for, or rather, they found me.
Good. And you saw eye to eye?
They let me go. We're on the same side. I'm a friend.
Good. Good. I'm glad. And very relieved. You seemed like such a nice young woman. I was worried the resistance was going to, you know...
Wow. Well, I'm glad I didn't know that was a possibility.
Well, never mind that. You still have your head. It's Zoe, is it not? What can I do for you, Zoe?
I should try to engage him in a friendly conversation. People say good things about you.
Do they now? Well, I appreciate the sentiment. I'm friendly to friends, civil to customers, and, less so to everyone else. But I will welcome all sorts to the Rooster, unless they're troublemakers.
I promise I'll behave. This is my chance to get to know Ulvik better. So what's your story?
My story? Well, I have plenty of stories. It'd take all day and night to tell half of them.
Are you from Marcuria?
Aye. Well, I was born here, but I was always a child of the ocean. Before he was a publican, my father was a sailor, and my mother hailed from the Southern Islands. The salty sea was in my blood. So, I ran away from home. 3 times my father brought me back before he finally relented and let me sign up. 13 years old and galley boy on the Pearl of the Great Sea. 10 years after that, I made first mate on the Kandar's Tusk. She was a great ship. I miss her like I'd miss a lost limb. I only returned to Marcuria to take over my father's business when he passed. He owned a tavern. Not this one, I'm afraid. It burned in the war. I fought the tyrant, joined the city guard, and then finally I scraped enough coin together to buy this place. So, here I am, both feet planted firmly on solid soil. But you know, my heart remains in the southern seas. I courted the beautiful Princess Kuamaka, angered a king, got chased off by savages with spears. I might one day go back to claim my pride and conquer a kingdom. But for now, I'm happy serving warm beer, listening to drunken confessions, and helping friends. My seditious, rebellious friends.
Ulvik appears to be well-traveled. Maybe he knows where it is. This is probably a long shot, but have you heard of the Purple Mountains?
I've heard of the Black Mountains, the Green Mountains, even the Speckled Brown Mountains, but purple ones? If I had to guess, I'd say look to the Border Mountains range. They stretch from one end of the Northlands to the other. I'm sure they cover the colours of the rainbow.
I'm guessing it might take a while to see them all.
About a decade, give or take a few months.
And here I was hoping to get home by next week. He might know where Abnaxus's house is located. I'm looking for the house that belonged to Abnaxus of the Venar.
The ambassador. I met him once at a social function, must be at least 15 years ago now. Cryptic fellow, hard to understand, but pleasant enough for a politician. Didn't drink much. Though between the two of us, we cleaned out their larders. The ambassador had the good foresight to leave town before the Azadi arrived. But his house is still there. I believe they used to call it Abnaxus Abode in the old days. But nowadays it's known as an historic artifact. You can't miss it. It's right in the centre of City Green. And it looks like a petrified tree. I reckon that's because it is a petrified tree. Oh, and best of luck getting inside. It's protected, if you know what I mean.
I have the key.
Oh, well, in that case, I reckon you'll have no problem getting inside, eh?
I can't shake the feeling that there's something about that guy I saw rummaging through Kian's belongings. The man who captured me.
Jakai.
That's him. What do you know about him?
Jakai Salmin, old Ben Rime's nephew. He stops by now and then, oftentimes with important messages. He does a lot of that, communications, but I don't know too much about him. Why do you ask?
Not sure. I surprised him in the Enclave. He was acting strangely.
His aunt is serving a sentence in Coldstone. I believe they're very close. That might explain his behavior.
That's probably it. Just keep an eye on him, maybe?
I certainly will.
Time to run along. I have places to go, and none of them are in here. I should get going, Ulvik.
I imagine you're busy. You let me know if there's anything else I can do for you, Zoe. Come back anytime. I'll see you around, Zoe.
So, how's business?
Pretty good. I mean, reaping's a great time. I must admit, how? I mean,
How's your memory coming along? Do you remember anything about this place now?
I worked so hard to remember, but no, not much. It was winter.
True. Winter changes everything, what with the snow and the ice and all.
And the city looked different. Smaller.
It probably has grown a bit.
But no, I don't really remember anything at all.
Perfectly fine. I also remember very little, but then I am a bird with a bird brain. So what can you expect?
No. Why are you asking me? I'm not a bloody engineer. I'm just excited.
They're preparing for a shindig of some kind. Any celebration that involves burning large sacks of hay is guaranteed success in my book. Pyres for celebrations or human sacrifices, one of the above. It looks like they're getting ready to celebrate Reap Moon's Eve. I keep overhearing people talking about the reaping. This must all be part of the harvest celebrations. Oh, jams. Is it safe to bring back food to Stark? Is that even possible? Probably not. Oh, jams. What's going on here? Isn't that... Are they trying to chop down Abnaxus Abode? Great. That's great.